This is a reading for Preston, and the question was about what's happening with his books. So for this reading, I'll be using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. And for this spread, I've selected the Prologue spread, the Creative Edition. That was from fablesden.com. So this is a 6-card spread, and I thought it was kind of an interesting one, mostly for this question. So the first card is Cracking the Knuckles. How can you best tap into your creative potential? Then the second card is Move Baby Move. How can you create the best working environment for yourself? The third card on top of that is Might Have Just Pulled a Muscle, and it's technical difficulties. What is a potential challenge that you might face? Then we have for the fourth card, Storm the Brain, how you can overcome this challenge and problem solve. And then we have the fifth card, and that's Light the Bulb. What is useful, new perspective that can power your thoughts, that can power you through, And then final card for this spread is the Seize the Future. What do you need to keep in mind in order to ensure future success? So before I start the reading, I'll just do a quick prayer. I call upon my angels and my guides to please be in communication and contact with Preston's angels and guides. May you please provide a clear and accurate reading. I also call upon Archangel Michael to please surround us in one light to protect this reading and so that only divine messages can come through. Okay, so we'll get started with the first card, the Cracking the Knuckles. So this one is how you can best tap into your creative potential. And we have here Justice. So the Justice card talks about fairness, truth, cause, and effect. And I think it's kind of saying, make sure that you're fair to yourself. Don't expect too much, or don't expect too much out of yourself than what is reasonable. And then for the second card, which is the Move Baby Move, how can you create the best working environment for yourself? And for this card, you've got the 8 of Swords. Now, the 8 of Swords represents isolation. Sword normally is kind of like on a reasoning thing, so I think it's kind of really clear yourself from all the distraction and concentrate on your task when you're kind of working towards this. And that's how you would be most, I guess, have the best, most creative, or would you be like have the most potential, or just be the more, there's a word, I cannot think of it. Just be like at your highest potential, I guess, yeah. So the third card here is Might Have Just Pulled a Muscle, so that's technical difficulty. What's a potential challenge that you might face? And for this one here, we have the King of Pentacles. So King of Pentacles talks about discipline, controlling. Now Pentacle talks about the resources, and it talks about, so in this case here, King can reflect a person. Now this might be you, or this might be somebody surrounding this project here. Because it's a king, I kind of talked about somebody who's a little bit more wiser. And what it's kind of saying is somebody has, because it's a challenge, that it's too controlling, it's too rigid. So this might be somebody else that's surrounded with this project that's just kind of keeping too tight a leash on this, kind of you're feeling too restrained. Now for the fourth card, and this one here is Storm the Brain, how you can overcome this challenge and problem solve. And for this one is we have the Death card. So the Death card means an ending, a beginning, a change, a transformation. So maybe it's either kind of change that relationship with the King of Pentacles here, or just get somebody new altogether. I'm not sure of the situation, so but yeah, there's a change of some sort. So I think the best to resolve this obstacles would kind of really be changing the nature of what's happening there. it's not something that's just gonna dissipate on its own, right? You would have to kind of step in and make some changes. So for the 5th card here, and this one is light the bulb. What is useful new perspective that can power you through? And for this one here, we have the King of Wand. Now, Wand talks about action. Again, King could be a person a little bit wiser. But this one here, this card talks about a visionary and an entrepreneur. So I'm thinking it's kind of saying to have a more business-like approach towards this. You know, an entrepreneur is kind of a creative business, right? So concentrating on, you know, as opposed to just kind of concentrating on the work itself, but kind of concentrating on the promotion, the branding, that sort of stuff. And then for your final card, and for this one here is the Seize the Future. What do you need to keep in mind in order to ensure future success? And for this one here, we have the 9 of Cups. And the 9 of Cups talks more about the emotional side, and it talks about comfort and satisfaction. So kind of make sure that you, I guess you kind of realize when you're satisfied or when you've, and kind of stay in your comfort zone and that sort of stuff. But like, I guess just kind of, you know, making sure that you are clear onto what you want to accomplish so that you know when you've attained it, so that it's clear onto what you want to do with it, and that you take comfort, kind of be proud of what you've succeeded, and that at what level is it going to be good enough, you know what I mean? Like kind of where do you want to go, and where is it going to be like, okay, this is where I'm comfortable. So I'm thinking kind of make clear goals as to what you're hoping for this particular project, and where are you going to be kind of happy with the outcome. So Preston, this was your reading, and I hope that it brought insight to you. Have a wonderful day.